Jericho. Even the name sounded strong, impregnable, intimidating. It was a city that had stood the test of time, its walls a testament to the ingenuity and determination of its builders. The very sight of Jericho struck fear into the hearts of those who dared to approach. The city stood like a giant, daring anyone to challenge its might. Its skyline was a silhouette of strength, with towers and battlements that seemed to touch the sky. The people of Jericho were confident, secure in their fortress, believing it to be invincible. Towering walls, thick and imposing, guarded the city. These walls were not just barriers, they were symbols of power and protection. Each stone was a piece of history, a part of the legacy of Jericho's unyielding defense. They seemed to mock the Israelites, whispering doubts about their God. The soldiers of Jericho, confident in their stronghold, looked down upon the approaching Israelites with a mixture of amusement and disdain. The Israelites had journeyed far, led by Joshua, Moses' successor. Their journey had been long and arduous, filled with trials and tribulations, yet they had persevered, driven by faith and the promise of a new land. They stood now, gazing at the obstacle before them. The walls of Jericho loomed large, a seemingly insurmountable barrier. The Israelites felt a mix of awe and trepidation as they contemplated their next move. Fear whispered through the ranks, doubts began to surface, and whispers of uncertainty spread among the people. Could they really conquer such a formidable fortress? How could they, a people delivered from slavery, conquer such a fortress? Their past as slaves weighed heavily on their minds, and the challenge before them seemed almost impossible. Joshua, however, looked to the Lord. He sought guidance and strength, knowing that their success depended not on their own might, but on divine intervention. He knew the promise, "I have given you this land." But how? The promise was clear, but the path to victory was not. Joshua's faith was unwavering, but he needed a plan. The answer came in a whisper, a divine strategy for a most unlikely victory. It was a plan that defied conventional wisdom, a strategy that required faith and obedience. Joshua listened, and with renewed determination, he prepared to lead his people to an improbable triumph. The Lord spoke to Joshua. His words were clear, precise, and utterly unexpected. "March around the city," he commanded, "once a day for 6 days." 6 days? What good would walking accomplish against those walls? Yet Joshua did not question. He had learned the power of obedience under Moses. He gathered the people. He relayed the Lord's instructions, no matter how strange they seemed. Faith, he knew, was not about understanding. It was about obeying. And so they marched, a silent procession led by armed men. Then the Ark of the Covenant, carried by the priests, a visible reminder of God's presence. Finally, the people, their footsteps echoing in the morning stillness. Each day they circled the city once. Silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by the rhythm of marching feet. The people of Jericho watched from their ramparts, their laughter echoing down. 6 days of seeming futility. Yet the Israelites marched on, their faith fueled by obedience. At the heart of the procession was the Ark of the Covenant. This sacred chest, overlaid with gold, represented God's presence among his people. It was a reminder that they were not alone in this battle. The priests, clad in their priestly garments, carried the Ark with reverence. Each step they took was a testament to their faith, a physical manifestation of their trust in God's plan. The Ark was a beacon of hope, a symbol of God's power amidst the uncertainty. Section 5. Jericho's walls come tumbling down. The story of Jericho is one of the most dramatic and awe-inspiring tales from ancient times, a testament to faith, obedience, and the power of divine intervention. On the 7th day, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. The people of Israel had been marching around the city for 6 days, and now, on this final day, something extraordinary was about to happen. The Lord's instructions for the 7th day were different. Unlike the previous days, where they had circled the city once, today they were to march around it 7 times. This was a significant departure from their routine, and it filled the people with a mix of excitement and nervous energy. This time they were to march around the city 7 times. Each step they took was a step of faith, a step towards the fulfillment of a divine promise. The sun beat down on them, the dust rose with each footfall, but their resolve was unshaken. Then, at Joshua's command, the priests were to blow their trumpets, and the people were to shout with all their might. The sound of the ram's horns would signal the moment of truth, the culmination of their obedience and faith. 7 times they circled the city. Each circuit brought them closer to the moment of divine intervention. The tension was palpable, the air thick with expectation. Tension mounted with each circuit. The people of Jericho watched from their walls, their confidence waning with each passing moment. They had heard of the God of Israel, and now they were witnessing his power firsthand. After the 7th circuit, Joshua raised his hand. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the signal that would unleash the power of God upon the city. The priests on his signal raised their trumpets and blew. The sound was unlike anything they had ever heard, a powerful, resonant blast that seemed to shake the very foundations of the earth. A long, resounding blast echoed across the plain. It was a sound that carried with it the weight of divine authority, a sound that struck fear into the hearts of the people of Jericho. "Shout!" commanded Joshua, his voice hoarse with emotion. This was the final act of faith, the moment when the people would see the fulfillment of God's promise. "For the Lord has given you the city," and shout they did. Their voices rose in a mighty chorus, a sound of triumph and victory that echoed across the plains. A mighty roar erupted from thousands of throats, a sound of both triumph and terror. The earth trembled. It was as if the very ground beneath their feet was responding to their faith and obedience. The walls of Jericho, those mighty symbols of human arrogance, crumbled into dust. The city that had seemed so impregnable, so secure, was now a heap of ruins. This was not just a military victory, it was a divine act, a demonstration of the power of faith and the fulfillment of God's promises. Section 6. Rahab's Redemption. Amidst the chaos and victory, one story stood out. Rahab, a woman of Jericho, had sheltered Israelite spies before the siege. She had recognized the power of their God and sought his protection. As promised, Rahab and her family were spared. Her house, marked by a scarlet cord, stood untouched amidst the ruins. Her story is a testament to the power of faith, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Section 7. The Aftermath of Obedience. The Israelites, overwhelmed with awe and gratitude, streamed into the fallen city. Jericho, once a symbol of impenetrable strength, lay in ruins. The victory was absolute, a testament to the power of obedience. Yet, amidst the victory, Joshua issued a solemn warning, a curse upon anyone who dared to rebuild Jericho. It was a stark reminder that their victory was not their own. It was a gift from God, a result of their obedience to his commands. Section 8. Jericho's Ruins, a reminder. The ruins of Jericho remain, to this day, a silent testament to the power of faith and obedience. They stand as a reminder that even the most formidable obstacles crumble before the might of God. The story of Jericho is not just an ancient tale. It is a timeless reminder that our God is a God of miracles. He is a God who fights for his people, who makes a way where there seems to be no way. Section 9. Lessons from the Rubble. The ancient city of Jericho, with its towering walls and storied past, stands as a testament to the challenges and triumphs of human history. As we gaze upon these ruins, we are reminded of the monumental obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. We all face our own Jerichos in life, giants of fear, doubt, and despair. These walls can appear in many forms, whether they are personal struggles, professional setbacks, or emotional battles. They loom large, casting shadows over our hopes and dreams. The story of Jericho teaches us that with God on our side, no wall is too high, no obstacle too great. It is a powerful reminder that faith can move mountains, and that perseverance, coupled with divine guidance, can lead to miraculous breakthroughs. When we align our actions with a higher purpose, we find the strength to overcome even the most daunting challenges. It reminds us that obedience is not about blind adherence to rules, but about trusting in a God who sees the bigger picture. This trust is built on a foundation of faith where we believe that every step we take, even if it seems small or insignificant, is part of a grander plan. By immersing ourselves in spiritual teachings and seeking wisdom from sacred texts, we gain clarity and direction. The walls of Jericho remind us to listen to his voice, to trust in his timing, and to march forward in faith, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Life's journey is filled with uncertainties, but with unwavering faith, we can navigate through the unknown. Together, as a community, we can support one another, share our burdens, and celebrate our victories. Let us be inspired by the lessons from the rubble and move forward with courage and conviction. Section 10, our Jericho walls. What are the walls in your life that seem insurmountable? What giants stand between you and your promised land? Remember Jericho. Remember the God who brought those walls crashing down. Put your trust in him. Obey his voice. March forward in faith and watch as he fights your battles and brings your own Jericho walls tumbling down. Your victory is certain, for the God of Jericho is the same yesterday, today, and forever.